Welcome everyone, or welcome back if you are a returning viewer. WB here, and that's right, in this video what we're going to do is show you how you can configure your devices or control the configuration of iOS devices through configuration policies inside of Microsoft Intune. I always encourage you, if you like what you see here, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell. Remember to like, share, and comments are always welcome. You can continue this discussion with us on our community Discord server, link in the description below. Without further ado, let's not waste your time. Let's dive in. Alright everybody, here we are on my desktop, and we are logged in already to the Microsoft Intune Admin Center. I'll put the link in the descriptions below to, when we're doing demonstrations here to help you get there as well. Now, what are we going to do? But remember, we're going to do a configuration policy, right? We want to make sure that we can control configuration on our iOS devices, right? So to do this, we are going to go to Devices. All right, and a couple different ways that we could get here from here. We could go to iOS or iPad OS if we wanted, or we can choose the nice little tile here. I'm going to choose the tile for iOS, iPad OS here. And we got a variety of different things that we can manage here, but specifically what we're going to look at is managing devices themselves. In another video, I'll show you how to create or request, I guess I should say, an Apple push notification APN and show you how you can actually get your iOS devices enrolled inside of Intune as well too. So definitely look out for that video in the library there. All right, so we're going to choose configuration on this one. All right, you can see I already got a policy configured for East US. Let's go ahead and let's configure a configuration policy for our iOS devices that are in our West US branch. So we're going to choose Create, and then we're going to choose New Policy here. All right, and we really don't get much of a selection here like we do in the other policies that I've showed you in different videos, right? So it's going to be iOS, iPad OS, and then we're going to select the profile type. Keep in mind the difference between these two, right? Settings catalog says, hey, let me give you all the settings, and then you can get very, very granular. So let me show you here. If I choose select, right, it says you're going to start from scratch, no framework, no bundling these together based on their functionality, right? You're going to get every bit of the available settings, right? For me, in this demonstration, a little bit of overkill, right? Maybe in another video, I'll show you how to navigate the settings catalog, but I use the template, and the template bundles essentially a set of settings together, a set of settings. Wow, that is redundant, right? It groups settings together based on whatever their functionality is. You kind of see that up here in the explanation here, organized by functionality, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and go, because specifically what we're going to do is we're going to do a device feature. All right, and you can hover over these little exclamation icons, and it kind of gives you an idea of what you're going to, the available settings once you add this template. So we're going to go ahead and choose Create. And as you've seen in a lot of the different wizards that we go through here inside of the Microsoft Intune video series, right, we're going to do our naming convention. Remember, naming conventions should be unique to you, but they should also be user-friendly. I say unique to your organization, but keep in mind if you have multiple Intune administrators that they probably want to know and be able to easily deduce what a policy is. I could call this the West US Airwolf policy, right? And then I am showing you essentially aging myself here, right? Just let you know that I grew up watching Airwolf as a kid, right? But it doesn't really tell the next administrator, maybe she comes in and she's like, oh, what's Airwolf? I don't even know what that is, right? So I might do West US, and again, this is going to be our config. Let's do it this way. We're going to do iOS config. We'll call this 01, policy 01 for me, right? And then I could put my description in here too. Platform, profiles already chosen for me, and we could choose next and walk on down the hall. Now we're in configuration settings, and like you've seen in that little exclamation point, a variety of different settings that are now available to configure. Think of it kind of like we talk about Windows, right? And using things like customized ADMX files, which is kind of legacy now in Intune because administrative templates has all the configurations that you need. But that's kind of what this is, kind of like administrative templates, right? And now what we do is we can just look through here. We can, configure a variety of different things, maybe a lock screen message, right? So if lost, we can say return, return to WB, WB training. Right, and we can put an asset tag information too, right, and we can configure some other options in here as well too. One thing to keep in mind too, depending on how the enrollment type, you will see that some are supported by, for instance, here, notice the Apple School Manager or Apple Business Manager. You will see sometimes, let me see if I can find one. Yeah, there's one, right? A little bit different here, subtleties, right? Devil's in the details, right? This one a little bit shorter of an explanation than this one. I can get you right to the answer, and that's because this one says all enrollment types, which does include user types. So be careful, pay attention, I should say, to how you have the configuration settings in here, and specifically when it comes to the enrollment types of your devices. And that doesn't just go for iOS, it also goes for Android, because remember, there are 3 different enrollment types in Android, right? There's the more legacy Android device administrator, which is kind of being phased out. What you should be using today is the enterprise, or I should say Android Enterprise. And then there's the Android, I can never remember the acronym. It's basically the open source project for OEMs that want to configure their devices, right? So there you have it. There is how you can configure some of the settings here. Let's go ahead and move on, right? Let's choose next. And who do we want to assign this to, right? We can add groups. We can add all devices, right? We choose all devices here. Let me go ahead. Let's see. I'm going to remove this here real quick. We could do this based on, specific groups. So, for instance, you can see sales is already in the list. Not like I really have to filter it there. Keep me honest here, but I could select sales, right? And we could add our sales team to this. There's 2 users in our sales team, but notice that we don't have any in devices. Again, I'll show you how to enroll some of those devices in another video, because it is a cool process to see your iOS devices show up in here and be able to remotely manage them through MDM. So if you want to see that a little bit quicker, leave a comment below, and I will definitely make that a high priority. All right, so now that we've got our assignments, we're going to choose next here. This is where we get our review summary. Again, pay attention to the information. Make sure that you've got it configured right. Don't do what I've done on many occasions as I'm creating content or creating a lab. You go through here, click, 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 and then you have to go back. And it's not the end of the world, but you'll have to go back and correct some settings here. We're going to choose create, and hopefully our profile has been created here. Never fear the refresh. Go ahead and choose refresh there. Let's give it a definitive click. And now we've got our West US iOS policy. Configuration policy, and like always, if we wanted to come in here and check a report, we can see some of the heads-up information, including viewing a report. We could tailor that down to device assignment and per setting status. We could scroll down here, and we can also see the properties. So, again, like I said, if you do make a configuration, you misconfigure it, or if you're like me and can't type to save your life sometime, you need to edit the policy. You can do that, and just remember exactly where that is located, again, including changing the settings after the fact as well, too. So really straightforward process. Let me get back to iOS, iPadOS, but that is how we create our configuration policies. I want to thank you guys and gals out there for taking the time to join me. I appreciate it. As always, if you like what you see here, remember to like, subscribe, and comments are always welcome. Subscribe, share, right? Share this content with somebody else that might be studying too. I also want you to keep in mind that we have a community Discord server, link in the description below. You can continue this conversation with me. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate you joining me.